Hey, what's up, YouTube? I am Jimmy Sequence. I want to talk about something that I've been saying for a while, that I'm going to make a video to give my opinion on speakers, different size speakers, and keep in mind that this is my opinion. You don't have to agree, but I would really like you guys to chime in and give me your opinion on what you think about what I plan to talk about. Nowadays they have sound systems that are using 18-inch speakers for bass. They have 21-inch speakers for bass. They're even having 24-inch speakers now. I remember back in the days when 15s were actually quite popular on bass. 15s still play a really nice tone in bass. Like I'll say, for instance, I just listened to the quad Danley quad 15s and Showmax sound system over the weekend, and those quad 15s are serious. So 15s are still able to reproduce really solid bass line. Seeing, done properly, the 15s are phenomenal. So yeah, 15 is still in the run-ins for bass, with the right speakers, right boxes, and right processing. Because the Danleys, you have to use their processors to get the proper bass out of them. So I love those. Alright, let's get into the 18s and the 21s. A lot of sounds are using 21s. I personally do not love 21s by themselves. I get that the RCF 21 inches have a little bit of a different tone, but they're still 21s. So the 21s are better at reproducing the lower bass tones, the bass that you feel more than you hear. You understand? The 21 inch will shake the place more than you will hear them. You will feel them. See? So yeah, you'll get that real dancehall type feel of the bass when you're using 21s. At least most 21s. 18s, on the other hand, you will feel them and hear them. Yeah, I said you will feel the 18s, you will hear the 18s. You will feel the 21s a little bit more than you will feel the 18s, because they are able to reproduce lower frequencies. Remember, you can't hear anything lower than 20 hertz, right? You won't necessarily hear those frequencies, but you will feel them. Seeing? So the 21 inches are good at shaking the place. Like I said, the 18s are better at reproducing bass frequencies that you can hear and feel. Meaning frequencies from, say, 40 hertz to 125, 150 hertz, right? Like that's 150 is kind of high up on the scale, but the 18s are able to reproduce those frequencies quite efficiently. Seeing? So what I personally love is a combination of 18s and 21s. I've been saying that forever, and I have recently started to use 21s and 18s. And yeah, I've confirmed that that's where it's at. A combination of the two. 18s and 21s combined is serious. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing now. I'm using 18s and 21s combined, and I love that combination. That combination is where it's at. Now, there are people using 24s. I am pretty sure I will not like 24s. I don't know how 24s are going to be even lower than 21s. So if you want to play specific subs, just something to shake the place, and just addition to your 21s and 18s, I suppose you could do that. But I personally wouldn't be even looking at 24s. But the 21 and the 18s combined, crazy. That's where it's at. If you haven't listened to a system that's using a combination of 21s and 18, I'm going to suggest that you do so. Whenever you hear Sequence playing again, come by and check out the difference in the bass. When you compare it to the straight 21-inch speakers, the 21 by itself is, like I said, it's a shaker. You will feel it in your belly. It'll shake the building. but you won't necessarily hear it as much as you would if you're playing 18. 18s give you the full bass note, the full note, everything. So you will feel the 18s, you will hear the 18s crystal clear. It'll be able to play and reproduce all of the bass notes. 15s, like I said, are still, most people are not using 15s. I only know of 2 sounds that use 15s still. LXI was using double 15s. I don't know if they're still using that. And Showmax is using the Danley quad 15s. Those quad 15s are serious. So like I said, 15s are still in the runnings for bass. Tuned properly, they're actually quite serious. So yeah, in conclusion, the 21s are great at reproducing subs, lower frequencies. The 18s are good at reproducing the whole bass range, in my opinion. And the combination of both the 18s and the 21s are ideal. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to agree, but test it out yourself and see. The ideal bass line, in my opinion, well, at least for reggae, dancehall sound systems, the 21s and 18s combined is where it's at. Now, if you're playing rock and roll or hip hop and whatever, I feel like the 18s would do that better than the 21s and 18s combined. Hip hop and R&B and rock and roll EDM, I feel like the 21s the 18s would reproduce the frequencies for those kind of music more efficiently than the 21. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree. But I would like you to jump into the comments and give me your personal opinion. Let me hear what you think. And yeah, we can talk about it. So yeah, if you have any opinion on the 21s, if you've seriously checked out the 21s and 18s and you have something to say about it, jump on into the comments and let me hear it. Alright, thanks for watching. Check back when you hear me post the videos, and see you on the next one. Much respect.
Open-hearted sound boy, calling in the day and soul. A disappointed sound boy who has no double plates at